you can take this opportunity to lower yourself onto your mat, on your back, finding your way into your Shavasana. Invite your body to take up space on your mat by sending your feet out wide to the bottom corner. Tuck the shoulder blades beneath you, finding a sense of openness through the chest and the collarbone. Create length through your entire spine, your entire back body, as you gently tuck your chin in towards your chest ever so slightly. Just drawing that length all the way up the back of your neck, through the top of your head. Perhaps today you invite your eyes to close. Just closing off any external distractions around you. Turning your awareness more internally. So just noticing the breath as it moves in and out through your nose. As you draw the breath into the nose, noticing how the belly, the chest rise and fall. Each breath. Each breath in, create a sense of openness, of spaciousness through your entire front body. Each breath out invites a sense of softness as the body contracts back down towards the mat. With each breath in, feel yourself energized, lighter, or joyful perhaps. Each breath out, really grounding you here in this space, releasing any tension, any stressors or thoughts that are no longer serving you. Grounded here on your mat, really present in this moment of time and in this space you've chosen for your practice. You can start to awaken the body by wiggling the fingers and the toes. Take some rotations through the wrists and the ankles. Getting out any creaks or cracks that may have developed through your day or your night's sleep. Rotating in the opposite direction. Find stillness in the center. Slide the feet together at the bottom of your mat. Reach the arms up overhead. Take a full body stretch here, so lengthening from the fingertips to the toes. With a soft exhale, lowering your body back into the mat. Big breath in, full body stretch, making you feel the low back lifting up off the mat. A soft exhale, release, let that go, lower down onto the ground. One more time, biggest stretch yet. Exhale, let it go. Draw the knees in towards your chest. Taking hold of them, interlacing fingers around the knees or the shins. Same length in your back body, so as if you're doing that full body stretch. Every inhale, reach the tailbone away from the top of your head. every exhale, gently draw the knees in a little bit closer. Finding subtle movement with each breath. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side, massage in the low back. Take some rotations through the knees in both directions. Find stillness in the center. Lower the sole of the left foot onto the floor, knee is still bent. Reach the right foot up towards the ceiling, extending through the right heel. Drive the right hip into your mat. Choose to interlace behind the right thigh, or you can use a strap if you prefer. The right heel is reaching up towards the ceiling. At the same time, the right hip is reaching down into the mat. Gentle pressure on the back of the right thigh can bring the toes a little bit closer to the floor behind you. It goes without saying that the toes do not have to touch the floor. Reach the right hip slightly away from the shoulders, the left hip slightly towards them. Squaring up the hip. Take a few gentle rotations through the right ankle, pointing and flexing through the right toes. Rotate in the opposite direction. Next time you come through center, stay there, draw the toes towards your face. We're going to take an external rotation of the right hip, so turn the toes to face the right side of the room. Bend the right knee, let the pinky toe edge of the right foot land on the left thigh. Deep flex through the right ankle. We're creating a figure 4 shape with the legs here. Reaching the right knee away from the right shoulder. While you reach the right knee away from the right shoulder, see if you can draw the right hip towards it. Want those hips to stay square. If you're not feeling a stretch into the right hip or the right glute, you can decide if you'd like to draw the left knee in towards your left shoulder, taking hold of the back of the left thigh. As the left knee draws in, the right knee is equally reaching away from the shoulders. Press the pelvis into the mat. If you're holding onto the back of the left thigh and you're still not feeling much of a stretch, you can always transition the hands to the front of the shin instead. Just draw the left knee in a little bit closer, maybe even using the right elbow to guide the right knee away from the shoulder. Just finding the level of this reclined pigeon pose or thread the needle that works in your body today. That may be different from day to day. Slowly release the left leg, let it lower to the floor with control. And we're going to complete the cross of the legs, so continue to slide the right leg over the left until you're crossed at the thighs, as if you're sitting cross-legged in a chair. With the crossed legs, draw the knees in towards the chest, taking hold of them. So you can keep the pelvis on the floor. We're looking for a stretch here into the right hip. If you're not quite feeling it, you can start to walk the heels away from one another. Walk the hands down the shins towards the heels and draw them away from one another. As the heels are drawn away from one another, squeeze the knees in towards your chest and press the tailbone down into the mat. Noticing where in the right hip area that you're feeling the stretch. Is that all? Really grounding down to the pelvis and squeezing the knees in towards your chest as the heels draw apart. As we release this, do so slowly and mindfully. Try to avoid the slingshot ankles. The heels come back through center slowly. The left foot finds the floor. Arms extended wide at your sides, or take a cactus formation. With the legs still crossed, we're going to lengthen through the spine and then send the legs over to the left side of the room. Coming into a twist here with the legs crossed. If that doesn't work for you, you can always uncross the legs and bring the right leg to stack on top of the left. It's okay if the knees are not touching the floor. You can place a block or a pillow, stack of books beneath them. The important thing is that we want the right shoulder to be touching the floor. The gaze can stay up towards the ceiling or go over to the right. Start to breathe some space into the lower right belly. If it's helpful, you can place the left hand onto the right belly, the right waist area. Send your breath to the left hand and feel it rise up on the inhale. Soften down on the exhale. Using your hand as a tool to better be able to visualize or feel that breath in your body. Each breath in creates a sense of space between the right shoulder and the right hip. Each breath out may need to sink a little bit deeper into the twist without ever being forceful, just surrendering to gravity. Gaze comes back through center. The knees will follow with or without the help of your hands. Uncross the legs. Give the knees a gentle sway from side to side just to neutralize the spine. A little windshield wiper motion. Then extend the legs long to the bottom of your mat. Take a mini shavasana. Settling into stillness as you do a scan of your entire body, from the tips of your toes to the top of the head and all of the tissues between. Just noticing any subtle changes from left to right sides. Slide the feet together at the bottom of the mat. Draw the knees in towards the chest. Choose to pause with the feet on the floor for a breath before bringing them in. Just giving the knees a nice tight hug in towards your body. Lower the sole of the right foot onto the floor. Reach to the left heel. Extend the left leg long towards the ceiling. Press down through your left hip. Decide if you'd like to interlace behind the left thigh or use a strap. You want to keep a deep flex in your ankle, toes drawn towards your face. I'm going to ease off on mine just due to an injury. But you want the left leg to stay active at all times. Left toes keep pulling down towards the left shin as you reach the left heel to the ceiling. Think about sending the left hip crease, that area where the left fleshy bit of your thigh meets your pelvis. Send that area away from the shoulders and down into the mat as you apply gentle pressure to the back of the thigh. Start to take some gentle rotations through the left ankle. Again, that's something I won't be demonstrating, but you can point and flex through the ankle as you draw those circles. Moving in the opposite direction. Just feeling any changes from side to side, direction to direction. Noticing if the circles become kind of pointy at the edges or if they stay nice and smooth. Noticing you have more range of motion on one ankle than the other. That you're able to get the circles bigger on one side. Find some stillness in the center, toes drawn towards your face. We're going to bend the left knee. Bring the pinky toe edge of the left foot onto the right thigh. Really squeezing the two together. So pressing the pinky toe edge into the right thigh into the pinky toe edge of your foot. Creating that figure four shape with the knees. Send the left knee away from your shoulders. Just checking in on the hips, on the pelvis. Are you tipping more weight onto the left side of your body? You bring a little bit more weight into the right hip. Stay as you are, or you can draw the right knee in towards your chest, take hold of the right thigh, or the right shin, lifting the right foot off of the floor. In doing so, just notice if you lift the shoulders up off the floor, maybe even the head, it could be a sign that you've gone too far. The shoulders should be resting softly on the mat. And if they're not, you can try using a strap in your hands to add length to your arms. Or you can step the right foot up onto a block or a stack of blocks. Without moving the upper body, you can try shifting the weight from right hip to left. And just notice if you feel the stretch in one area more than others. Pause there. Offer in a few breaths before moving on. Maybe every few breaths you're able to draw the right knee in a little closer, draw the left knee further away. Slowly lower the right foot onto the mat. Cross the legs, so slide the left leg all the way over the right, as if you're sitting in a chair cross-legged. Squeezing the thighs towards one another, lengthening the spine, and then drawing the knees in towards your chest, taking hold. And you may already feel a difference from left side to right. Maybe you're feeling a lot more tension in the side, maybe no stretch at all. If you're looking to add on a little bit, keep the knees hugged in close, the tall spine. As you start to walk your hands down the shins, so the right hand's walking down the left shin and the left hand's walking down the right. And the closer you get to the ankles, start to draw the heels further away from one another. But keep squeezing the knees in towards your chest, the tailbone down into the mat. Holding the pose, but not the breath. breath here. With control, releasing the heels, let them find their way back towards one another. The legs stay crossed as you lower the right foot onto the floor. Arms wide at your side or take the cactus formation. We're going to find our way into the twist. Again, always taking the twist that feels best in your body. So that may mean uncrossing the legs, let them stack on top of one another. If you place a block between the knees for some added support for your low back, creating a little more space in that area. Decide if you'd like to gaze at the ceiling or over to the left. With or without the right hand on the lower left belly. Sending the breath to that area. The lower left belly rising and falling with every breath. Bring the gaze back through center. Let the knees find center as well. Uncross the legs. And we'll let the soles of the feet come to touch as the knees fall open like a book, creating a diamond shape with the legs. You can place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Close the heels are to the pelvis, the more of a stretch you'll be feeling here. So to ease off, you can slide the heels, the toes away from the pelvis. Option to place pillows or blocks beneath the knees to let this be more restorative. Without trying to change its rhythm or its rate. Just become aware of the body breathing. That natural rise and fall of belly and chest with every breath. Bring the soles of the feet onto the floor as you bring the knees towards one another, with or without the help of your hands. Bring the right arm up overhead. We're going to roll over onto the right side body. So you can use the right arm as the pillow, let the left palm rest softly on the floor. Draw the knees in close towards your chest. Rounding through the back body. In the same way we were aware of the breath moving through our front body, that rise and fall of belly and chest. Start to become aware of the breath as it moves through your back body. The low back, the mid back, and upper. And how each of those areas is affected by the breath as it moves through your body. when you feel ready in your own time, finding your way up to a tabletop position. So from your tabletop position, shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. We're going to move through a few cat and cows. So on an inhale, lift your tailbone, let the belly drop, heart comes forward, gaze comes up. On an exhale, draw the tailbone beneath you, reach your belly button up towards the ceiling, round through the spine, hollow out the chest, gaze to the belly button. Inhale, cow pose, tailbone lifts, belly drops, heart comes forward, gaze comes up. Cat pose, tuck the tailbone, really rounding through the spine, exaggerate that roundness as you chin to chest and gaze to belly button. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale. Exhale. Big breath in. Slow breath out. Moving through 3 more at your own rhythm of breath. Picking each movement to a breath and allowing each cycle to be a little bit slower than the one before. Rush at all, but when you get there, just landing in a neutral spine. From your neutral spine, walk the knees back a couple of inches. Send the hips forward to find a modified plank, knees on the floor. Belly button draws in. Squeeze the inner thighs towards one another with the outer hips away and back behind you. Start to bend through the elbows, let them graze your ribs as you lower down onto the mat with control. You're going to come into baby cobra pose, so you want the shoelace side of your feet and to be pressing down into the mat. Press down to the shoelace side of your feet, reach through the big toes. The hands are under the shoulders roughly, with the elbows drawn in towards the midline and back towards your heels. Let the gaze be neutral between your hands, maybe a few inches beyond the fingertips. Maintaining a long neck here, that gentle tuck of the chin. We're going to inhale, lengthen from the big toes to the top of your head, lifting the collarbones and 1 or 2 ribs up off the floor. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press down through the feet, lengthen and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen and lift. This time we're going to hold. Really lengthening through the low back. Pressing down through the feet so much so that the knees are lifted, thighs are engaged, squeeze the muscles in towards the bones. Stay open through the front of the chest, the throat, the collarbone. By drawing the elbows back behind you and in towards the midline. Lower with the exhale. Press down through the palms. Come up through tabletop. Let the big toes come to touch. The knees go wide apart. Shift your hips back towards the heels for a child's pose. Fingertips are reaching the end of the mat away from the pelvis. Fingertips spread wide. Pressing down into the mat, arms are active. You can always use a rolled up towel or blanket in the crease of your knees to create a little space. Or you can sit onto a block or a pillow. Find a little bit of relief in the hips or the ankles. Big breath here in your child's pose. We're going to find our way up to a tabletop. Come around to take a comfortable seated position. So maybe that's sitting cross-legged. Maybe you're up onto your knees or sitting onto a block. Once you find your comfortable seat, step the shoulders above the hips. You want to be sitting up nice and tall. On a big inhale, reach the fingers out to the sides and up to the ceiling. Press the palms together, let them meet in front of your heart. Big breath in, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. Big breath in, reach out and up. Exhale, hands to heart. This time we're going to reach out and up all the way, find some length. Bring the right hand down towards the floor beside you. Left fingertips reach up towards the sky and over to the right. Taking a side bend. We want to keep the chest open to the room in front. So watch this left shoulder, it often starts to hollow out the chest and find its way down to the floor. Stay open through the chest, fingers lift up, and then they lift over. Try to find length in both the left and right side of your body. Center, fingers reach up high. Exhale, right fingertips to the left knee, left hand comes behind you either to the floor or onto the low back as you gaze over the left shoulder for a twist. Lengthen through the spine and then deepen the twist. Never going beyond that point of sensation. Shouldn't be feeling any pinching or pain. Any fiery action in the low back. Come back through center. If you're sitting cross-legged, option or opportunity to change the cross of your legs, switch across the opposite direction. Start to take some gentle rotations with the upper body. In both directions. Find stillness in the center, tall spine. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, side bend to the left. Release the left fingertips onto the floor. Right fingertips reach up first. Keep the chest open to the room in front of you. And then side bend over to the left. Breathing space into the area between the right ribs and the right waist. Really grounding down through the right hip. center, fingertips reach up high. With a slow breath out, left fingertips to the right knee, right hand comes behind you, gaze over the right shoulder. You can always press down through the fingertips if they're on the floor. Use that to lengthen the spine. If the left hand is on the right leg, you can apply gentle pressure then to deepen the twist. Always really focusing on that length before the twist. Release, come back through center. Extend the legs out long in front of you. You can lift your hips up, slide the glutes out from beneath you just to allow yourself to sit up a little bit taller. Find a straight spine. Ankles are flexed, toes drawn towards you. Inhale, reach up, tall spine. As you exhale, fold forward, keep that straight spine. You can reach for the ankles, the shins, or even a strap around your feet. See if you can stay open through the chest. Draw the collarbones away from one another. Rather than trying to touch your forehead to your shins, think about reaching your belly button beyond the knees. Press your tailbone back behind you into the mat. Slowly come back up. Bend through the right knee. Bring the sole of the right foot onto the left leg, so that may be at the thigh, close to the pelvis, or even further down at the knee or beyond. Just bringing the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh somewhere. Sending the outer right knee down towards the mat. If it's uncomfortable or if you have knee sensitivity, you can place a pillow or a block beneath it. We're going to turn to face the right knee. So you can see that as I moved into that position, I was actually able to slide my left heel a little bit further away and find a little more space. Turning to face the right knee, bring the left hand or arm to the left thigh. Reach the right fingertips up towards the ceiling and then over towards, or rather in the direction of the left toes. So you're not necessarily trying to touch the left toes. Pressing down through the right hip, reaching the right fingertips in the direction of the toes. Keep the chest open. So again, you shouldn't be looking at your toes right now. Looking at the room in front of you, maybe even up towards the ceiling. You can use the left arm or elbow on the inner left thigh to find a little more space, a little more openness through the chest. Slowly come back up. Bring the right hand to the floor behind you. Pivot the left foot, so bring the inner arch towards the floor. Press down through the pinky toe edge of your foot. Again, I'm not going to do this pose on this side, but press down through the foot. Right hand on the floor, reach the left fingertips high towards the ceiling, lift the hips up, and then reach up overhead. Really grounding down to the pinky toe edge of your left foot. Creating length of your left side body. Slowly lower the hips back down onto the floor. Move onto the heel of your left foot. From here, you can pick up the right leg. So we're going to take the right foot in the left hand, right knee in the right. Lift it up slightly and bring it over to land on top of the left thigh. So once again, we're creating a kind of figure four shape with our legs. Deep flex in the right ankle, draw the toes towards the right shin. Sitting up tall, send the right knee down towards the mat. And just notice as you send the right knee down towards the mat, are you now facing the sole of the right foot towards the ceiling? Stay strong through the right ankle. Have the right foot, the sole of the right foot, facing the left side of the ring. From here, if you're not feeling a stretch, you can bend through the left knee, bring the sole of the left foot onto the floor, reach the right knee away from you. So just finding the depth that works best in your body. You want to work towards sitting up tall and straight. So even when I'm leaned back a little bit, you can see my spine makes a straight line. I'm not rounding into a cat-like back here. Walk the hands closer towards you to lengthen the spine and sit up tall as you reach the right knee away from the shoulders. The same applies whether the left knee is bent or straight. Both ankles are flexed. If the left knee is bent, you can straighten it now. We're going to take the right knee, draw it up towards the midline as you lower the sole of the right foot to the outside of the left leg. So it's as if you're cross-legged with the right foot on the floor, knee pointing up to the ceiling. Inhale, tall spine, reach up. Exhale, left hand or arm wraps around the right knee, draws it into the midline. Right hand comes behind you, find a twist. Pressing down through the right fingertips, lengthen your spine and then deepen your twist. Slowly release. Extend the right leg long to meet the left. And give the legs a bit of a wiggle. Let that side go. We're going to move to the opposite side here. So we're going to bend the left knee. Bring the sole of the left foot onto the right inner leg. Tall spine pressing down through the left knee as if you're trying to press the outer edge of the left knee down onto the mat. So whether you choose to have the left sole of the foot on the thigh up close to the pelvis or even close to the ankles, it does not matter. Right leg is active, toes are drawn towards us as we shift to face the left knee. You may be able to send the right heel a little bit further away at that point. Sternum, so the center of your chest is in line with the left knee. Inhale, reach up. On an exhale, without turning to face the right leg, bring the right hand or right arm down onto the right leg. Reach the left fingertips high and then over to the right. So we're still working to keep that chest open to the side wall. Try to resist the temptation to bring the left shoulder down towards the left knee. The gaze can be forward and neutral or up towards the ceiling. Come back through center. Left hand finds the floor behind you. Right fingertips reach up. Pivot on the back foot, bring the inner arch of the right foot onto the mat. Press it down through the pinky toe edge as you reach up towards the ceiling. Lift your hips up. Finding length of your right side body. The left knee can stay bent here. You can be looking to the rim in front of you or even shine your heart up a little bit towards the ceiling. Slowly release, come back down. Turn to face your extended leg. We're going to pick up the left leg. So take the left foot in the right hand, left knee in the left. Pick up the leg and place the outer left ankle on top of the right thigh. Sole of the left foot is facing the side wall. Without tipping on the ankle, without collapsing through the ankle, start to send the left knee down towards the mat. Sit up tall here. And decide if you'd like to keep the right leg bent, or if you'd like to, or rather the right leg straight, or if you'd like to bend through the right knee, bringing the sole of the right foot onto the floor. Just check in on the hips, pelvis. To avoid the stretch, a lot of times we come out without even realizing it. So what you may find happening is that the left hip starts to shift behind you, the right hip shifts forward. Can you switch that up? Draw the right hip towards the mat behind you. As the left hip comes forward, both press into the mat equally. Using your hands behind you to help straighten through the spine. Sit up tall. Straighten the right leg if it's bent. And then using the left hand on the left knee, start to draw it up through the midline. Send the sole of the left foot onto the floor on the outside of the right leg. Sit up tall, reach up. We're going to find your twist, so wrap the right arm around the left leg. Left hand comes behind you. Deepen your twist. Still reaching through the heel of the right foot. The gaze is over the left shoulder, but it is soft. Not really focusing on one particular item, not jetting the eyes side to side. Slowly release, come back through center. Extend the left leg to meet the right. Give the legs a little bit of a wiggle here. From here, we're going to bend the knees and lower down onto our back. With the knees bent to begin, walk the feet wide to the edges of your mat. Let the knees tip in to touch. The arms can be extended wide, they can be up overhead, or in cactus formation, whatever feels nice. Just inviting the low back to settle into the mat, relax. Noticing the relationship between the low back and the floor with every breath. And heel toe the feet towards one another. Draw the right knee in towards the chest as you extend the left leg long to the bottom of your mat. Keep the left leg active, left toes are drawn towards your face with the big toe pointing up towards the ceiling, not over to the left. Draw the right knee in towards your chest as you reach the right hip crease away from your shoulders and down into the mat. Take a few slow motion circles with the right knee into the right hip. Maintaining as much stability through the left leg and left hip as you're able. Change direction of the circles. Find stillness in the center. Draw the left knee in to meet the right. Give them both a hug. And extend the left or right leg rather long to the bottom of the mat, switching sides. Every breath in lengthens from the right heel to the top of your head. As you breathe out, the belly softens, creating space for the left knee to draw inwards. Finding some gentle rotations in the left. Both directions. And in stillness, draw the right knee in to meet the left, this time taking the knees wide apart, creating space between the thighs for the belly to move with breath. Really ground down through all four corners of your pelvis. It's as if you're trying to touch the knees to the floor beside your shoulders, on the edges of your mat. If this feels nice, stay just as you are, or you can move into happy baby by bringing the arms to the inner thighs, reaching across the shins for the pinky toe edge of your feet or the ankles. As you send the knees towards the floor beside your shoulders, start to reach the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, maintaining a bend through the knees. Rooting down through the tailbone. Our back will instinctively try to go into a cat-like back here, especially in the low spine. So really focus on lengthening the low back into the mat. Take advantage of the space between the thighs to fill your belly with breath. Each breath out, maybe you're able to deepen the flex in your ankles. Maybe you're able to send the knees just a little bit closer towards the floor. Working towards stacking the ankles above the knees. Do not have to get there. Slowly release, avoiding a slingshot motion. Bring the heels towards the mat. The soles of the feet come to touch. The knees fall wide apart, creating that diamond shape with the legs. Place one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Maybe go with the opposite than your natural instinct. Invite the legs to release, relax, and let go. Surrendering to gravity without any activation through them. Soles of the feet supporting the legs in this pose. Finding softness to the hips, the glutes, the thighs. Take a long breath in through the nose. Soft breath out through the nose. Big breath in through the nose. Let the belly rise up beneath your hand. Exhale to soften. Belly goes down towards the mat, taking the hand with it. Continue to fill the belly with breath. Follow your own rhythm. Attempting to lengthen each and every breath. Slowing the process and slowing the movement. As you slow that breath, while the chest remains in stillness, you may be able to feel the subtle beating of your heart beneath the chest. Become aware of the rhythm of the heartbeat slowing as you slow the breath. Stay here in this pose if you are enjoying it, or you can extend your legs long to the bottom of your mat. Releasing through the ankles, letting the toes grow heavy. Release the arms at your sides, let the palms face up. Tuck the shoulder blades beneath you. Find length in your neck as you soften through the face. Even without the hands on your belly and chest, aware of the movement, the rise and fall, the beating heart. Maybe you're able to close your eyes here. As you let your body settle into the stillness. Noticing the limbs grow heavier and heavier with each breath out. Releasing all effort from them, the activation through the muscles, any tension that you may be holding on to. The limbs start to soften as they melt deeper and deeper into your mat. Releasing through the hips, glutes, the pelvis. The entire back body grows heavy in the mat, supported and safe, as your front body continues to move freely with breath. Create some space between the molars, softness in the face. Let the sounds around you start to fade off into the background until all that remains is the sound of your own breath as it moves through your body. Stay here in this stillness and in this breath for as long as you have available to you. If it does seem time to get up and go, do so slowly, do so mindfully. And allow leaving your practice to be part of your practice. Moving with breath, moving with intention, moving with peace. Such gratitude for you joining me in practice today and always. Namaste.